So now I want to talk to you about Regus versus Spaces versus WeWork versus Airbnb for working space. What is the best co-working platform? Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. In today's show, we want to quickly review Regus versus Spaces versus WeWork versus Airbnb for working space. I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. So, we all know when it comes to business, whether you are a micro business or a small business or a solopreneur, how you present yourself is critical in business. Clients and customers and vendors and other stakeholders evaluate your website, business card, and everything in between. So this is very important. Whether you want to create a virtual office or an actual brick and mortar office doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, if you're able to get your mail, if you're able to receive customers, if you're able to discuss, to have business meetings in a physical location, that's all you need. And that's the cool thing that Regus, Spaces, WeWorks, Airbnb for working space, and other co-working platforms out there allow you to do. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, if you're a self-employed professional, if you're a freelancer, if you're a global citizen, if you're a frequent traveler, you want a solution that meets your need. Everybody needs to make money, be productive, you need to find work and life balance and so on. So you need to find a solution that works for you. Now let's talk about co-working and office spaces. Co-working spaces are challenging traditional work environments. Many people thrive in co-working spaces because they are convenient, flexible, and community driven. Other benefits include a networking capability. You have flexible pricing, memberships, and cost savings. And so when you think about co-working and office spaces, you have to know things like serviced office. So a service office is an office or office building that is fully equipped and managed by a facility management company, which then rents individual offices or floors to other companies. It's very important to know because before you make a decision, you got to understand the lingo in the industry. And then you have virtual office, you have a private office, you have a workstation, also called a Workspace. This is for one person to use and it can be on a shared surface or separate. You have a meeting conference room that facilitates communication between multiple people. You have call answering services, which often feature an on-site receptionist who will manage incoming phone calls for an individual or business. And you have mail handling services, which supports the management of incoming and outgoing mail for individuals and businesses. And other terms that you really need to be aware of is you have global co-working companies. Those are office-based and co-working companies that operate in most cities around the world. Now, folks, before I get into the comparison, I really need to explain those things to you because you might lose money if you don't understand the lingo. So it's very important to understand the terms of the industry so you can make the right decision. So we have global co-working companies. You have local co-working companies. You have companies such as Convene, which operates out of 6 United States cities. So you have, we're showing you right now, Convene is pretty good. And you have Notel or Notel, which customizes spaces for each of its clients. And you have Union Co-work, which operates multiple locations across San Diego with one membership, right? And basically, and you have other players such as the Hive 44 and Alkaloid networks, and those are like hyper local options. And the cool thing you need to understand is that co-working companies vary in amenities and range in price, but most have a communal area. You have conference rooms for meetings, phones, faxes, printers, and a break room, similar to a regular office. However, some come with additional perks, including coffee, beer, and snacks, events like happy hours, massages, workshops, and access to other resources, capital, and networking opportunities. So if you happen to live in a larger city, you might see this shared workspaces popping up on every corner. And you know why? This is because there is an increasing needs for shared office space as the number of people teleworking continues to rise, really, if you think about it. And the current pandemic is not really helping because then people are just forced to stay home. But once the situation is back on track, you would see that a lot of those co-working space rooms will actually be fully booked. And according to research, 80 to 90% of the U.S. workforce say they would like to telework at least part-time. All right, so this is fantastic, and you have the rise of solopreneurs, online entrepreneurs. You have the rise of people who are working, who are telecommuting. So the future is, according to our research and according to various experts, very bright for co-working. So before I get into the actual comparison, let me tell you a little bit about the benefits of co-working spaces. Those spaces offer all of the advantages of an office without the stuffy cubicles, annoying coworkers, or feeling or of needing to clock in and out every day. And here are some additional reasons companies and consultants use them. So you can have a quiet, professional space with technology capabilities. I'm talking here about conference line, AV equipment for meetings. You get the support of office staff. Here, you have a receptionist, IT, security, package delivery without the salaried employees. So if you are a solopreneur, if you are a sole proprietorship, if you are a consultant, you have access to quality support without salaried employees. You can focus on your business instead of real estate, cleaning services, office supplies, utility bills, rent, and paperwork. You can move into a turnkey ready office space with furnishings provided. There are no ongoing overhead costs like purchasing and maintaining equipment, really. You can easily add more desk space as you scale in size or locations and cut back when needed. So in other words, this scalability feature is fantastic when it comes to co-working, really. You're basically outsourcing all the risk, if you will, to a third party, the risk in terms of office space. And other benefits include the fact that you have short-term commitments and month-to-month options, which allow you to try out different spaces. And you have a physical and mailing address for your business for packages, meetings, and marketing purposes. You have some kind of flexibility when it comes to office space because you can have an office in different cities or neighborhoods or work on the move, really. Especially if you have a plan with one of the bigger players that I will be talking to you about today, whether it is Regus or Spaces or WeWork or Airbnb for co-working. And another criterion that we love, or another positive criterion we love when it comes to co-working spaces, is that you can network with other freelancers, professionals, and gain access to valuable resources for your business. So that's pretty cool. Fantastic. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. Today I'm doing a compare and contrast between four big players in the co-working space. So let's first talk about Regus. Now, Regus, hands down, is the world's largest provider of flexible workspace solutions. That's for sure. I mean, they've been around, they've been playing this game for a long time, and they're very good at it. And one thing you need to know is that not every co-working space is equal. Your own needs are just as unique as the co-working options available to you. So you really want to take the time to research each one, especially if you're going with Regus, because they're everywhere and they have different options too. Now, Regus's network includes almost 3,000 business centers in more than 800 cities across 100 countries, more than 100 countries. Through its range of office formats, Regus enables individuals and companies to work where they want, when they want, and how they want at different price points. So it really depends on your situation. You want to get a price point that actually works for you in terms of your needs, in terms of your scalability needs, in terms of your customers, and in terms of your vendors, and any stakeholder that you need to pay attention to. And Regus is part of IWG, which is a multinational corporation that provides workspaces globally under different brands. And its customers include professionals, remote workers, entrepreneurs, freelancers, startups, and businesses of all sizes. We kind of love that diversity in Regis's client base. And the company was founded in 1999. Like I said, they've been around for more than 30 years. They're pretty good at this. And you have professional and classic office layouts. You have co-working virtual offices and dedicated shared workspace. Private offices and meeting rooms are available. You have office equipment, furniture, supplies, internet, private phones, and lunchrooms on site. One thing you have to understand with Regus is that you must pay separately for consumables such as coffee, photocopies, and calls. They have mail handling services. They have call answering services. You can get admin support if you want for various tasks. You can access business lounges around the world, again, depending upon your needs and upon the kind of a situation you're in, whether you're a consultant, you're a solopreneur, or you are a micro business or even a small business owner. And members of Regus get exclusive offers and discounts. And they have what we love with Regus is that they have regular events and activities. So this is really to give you a synopsis of Regus as of today, based on our research. Just so you know, all the four co-working options that we are reviewing today, we have our team has actually used and tested them. We are regular users of those four services, and we basically know how they work. Let's talk now about Spaces. Spaces was really built on the idea that success breeds more success. So that's why it has cultivated from day one a community of members who are thinkers and achievers. So when you think about Spaces, you got to think about it's kind of similar to a social network. So you have the idea of community, which you don't have with Regus. Regus, they provide the platform, they provide the locations, fantastic. But Spaces goes a little further. So Spaces provides workspaces that suit your everyday need, and they have locations in more than 40 countries and nearly 200 cities. And IWG acquired them in 2015, and one of the IWG brands competes directly with other players in the field. So IWG owns Regus, but also owns Spaces. All right, I want to clarify that. And Spaces customers include entrepreneurs, freelancers, startups, digital nomads, artists, small businesses, and companies. The company was founded in 2008. It has modern and trendy office layouts, fantastic. They have co-working, virtual offices, and dedicated shared workspaces. You have access to private offices and meeting rooms. You have 24/7 office access. This is fantastic. If you have, like, let's say you have a quick call to take at 11 p.m. or 4 a.m., you can quickly go to the office. You have office equipment, furniture, supplies, internet, private phones, kitchen, and free coffee on site, which you don't have with Regus. With Regus, you don't have free coffee on site, if that matters to you. You have catering packages. They're available. Mail handling services and call answering services. Mail handling services are available, but call answering services are not available with Spaces. Members get exclusive offers and discounts, and you have access to networking, social events, and, very important, at least for us, fitness classes. Number 3, let's just kind of dig a little deeper into WeWork. And when you think about WeWork, you need to think about excellence, really. You need to think about beauty. WeWork actually, in our research, we've seen that they are able to constantly innovate year after year after year. They actually transform buildings into beautiful collaborative workspaces and provides on-site services, events, and technology so members can focus on doing what they love. And this quote came from their website, but actually it is true. We have tested the facilities in many cities, and it's really true. They actually innovate. And WeWork offers a global network of serviced office spaces, community and physical and virtual services to enable companies to grow. So the WeWork has a smaller presence worldwide than Regus or Spaces have, but they're still a big contender. So WeWork is present in more than 20 countries and 80 cities compared to the 200 cities of Spaces and the 3,000 cities of the 800 cities of Regus. What we love about WeWork is again they have the community, the sense of community. They have a membership base of 200, more than 260,000 individuals, which include people, so entrepreneurs, you have freelancers, you have startups, you have digital nomads, you have artists, small businesses, and large companies. And the company was founded in 2010. It has a modern and trendy office layouts. You have co-working, virtual offices, and dedicated shared workspaces. You have private offices and meeting rooms available. 24/7 office access, that's fantastic. Office equipment, furniture, supplies, internet, private phones, kitchen, and free refreshments on site. So everything that you need. Remember, the free refreshments, that is not part of the Regus offer. And they have WeWork has mail handling service or mail handling services, but limited to incoming mail and package handling only. They have no call answering service. And WeWork works with clients to build and manage office spaces at the enterprise level because they have different pricing levels. So at the enterprise level, which caters to big business, to the B2B space, they're able to actually offer a convenient solution at that level. Members get exclusive offers and discounts, and they also have networking and social events as well as fitness classes. So what about Airbnb for work? Now, Airbnb, everybody knows that Airbnb, it's known for, on the B2C or the C2C. It's a C2C model, but lately they have been growing very fast, and Airbnb is trying to enter the B2C or B2B space with Airbnb for work. So it's really an online marketplace for people to list, discover, and book accommodations worldwide. Again, we're saying here people, but nowadays, with the model being shifted from C2C to B2C or B2B, you're having companies, you're having hotels, you're having accommodation businesses that also list their properties on Airbnb for work. And Airbnb for work connects hosts and guests in more than 30,000 cities and more than 190 countries. And Airbnb is primarily known for short-term rental accommodations. However, it does promote business travel for individuals and teams, extended stay, relocation, and travel expense tools. And Airbnb for work now accounts for 15% of its bookings. Think about it, 15%. That's very, really, really consequential here. So co-working and co-living are available through shared housing. So Airbnb was founded in 2008. They have a wide range of living spaces for living and business spaces for different budgets and needs. You have co-working, virtual offices, and dedicated shared workspaces within a home. You have private offices and meeting rooms within a home. You have 24/7 home access. You have fully furnished accommodations. You have the ability to filter for amenities, facilities, property types, house rules, and more. And they have a mail handling service. This is at best it would be limited to incoming mail in a condo or apartment building. There is no call answering service, and there is an option to book local experiences, adventures, and restaurants. So really, it depends on your needs here. You know, people use Airbnb for several reasons. For example, if you are a digital nomad and you like to work from home, this could be a great option for you. You can book entire places for you and your team. And so when searching for a home, for example, please filter for Wi-Fi and inquire with the host about internet connectivity, reliability, and speed. Especially if you work outside the United States, internet connection is not always reliable. So you want to make sure that you talk to the person, and you also talk to the person about things like business address, if you can use their address as a business address, mail handling, call answering, or a meeting room. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks. We are still having a compare and contrast between Regus, Spaces, WeWork, and Airbnb for co-working. Let's do a comparison here. We have a comparative table on the screen right now, the first one. So I'm showing you the criteria that you have to pay attention to. On the first table, you can see that all four players have multiple locations. They all have fully furnished offices. The all have serviced office and home. Now for Airbnb, you have to filter for it. But for the other three, the Regus, Spaces, and WeWork, it's part of the plan. It's included. It's automatically included. But for Airbnb, you need to specifically filter for that while choosing your co-working space. All right. Co-working, yes, this is available on all four. All four have a dedicated shared workspace. In other words, you can choose a dedicated workspace, or you can share with others. It depends on your needs. Depends on your situation. And you have a virtual private office. It's available on all four players. A meeting room is available on all four providers, on all four platforms. Business addresses, yes. For Airbnb for work, you have to actually request that. But for Regus, Spaces, and WeWork, it's automatic. It's part of the plan that you choose. I'm also showing you right now the second table on the screen right now. You can see we have a comparative analysis of more features. So 24/7 access, you have it on all three, but except Regus. So Regus does not allow 24/7 access. Mail handling is available in Regus and Spaces. Both are owned by IWG, as I said earlier. For WeWork, it is limited, and for Airbnb for work, you have to request it. It is available, but you have to request it. Call answering is available on Regus. It is available. It's not available on neither Spaces, WeWork, and Airbnb. And in terms of exclusive offers and discounts, you have them on all places except Airbnb. You have events, fitness classes. You may have them on Regus, Spaces, and WeWork. And co-living is not available on Regus and Spaces, but you may have them with WeWork and Airbnb. Local bookings not available except Airbnb, and flexible pricing available on all three platforms. So, folks, what's the final word here? Now, Spaces and WeWork are kind of similar, and Regus raises the bar with mail handling and call answering services. What about Airbnb for work? Now, this is a robust alternative for people who prefer to work from home, especially if traveling or living abroad is something that you want to consider for your business. Some people argue that WeWork charges too much. Those same people see WeWork as an expensive, unnecessary cost. Therefore, you want to do a cost-benefit analysis across your options to determine what's right for you. There are more affordable and free co-working options entering local markets daily, and many of them are excellent for people who don't need to tap global networks of co-working locations, right? So, for example, in parts of Latin America, Santander Bank offers free co-working at its Work Cafe locations. But again, it depends upon your needs. It depends on where you're located. It depends on the needs of your stakeholders, because it is very important when we're talking about co-working for business. You have to think about your own needs as a solopreneur and as a micro business, but also the needs of your stakeholders, including your vendors, your customers, and other key stakeholders. For example, investors. So, what is our pick today? Our pick when it comes to co-working space, Regus. This was a hard one, but we would go with Regus. And our score is 10/10, and it's followed very closely by WeWork and Spaces. We've assigned the score of 9.5/10 to both of them. And for Airbnb for work, we have given this platform 9/10. Thank you so much, folks, for listening to today's conversation. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.